On today's episode of Backyard Podcast, we got my brother, NBA player DJ Wilson, who has been a longtime friend of mine since we've been kids. And a quick backstory, man, this is the 11th episode, so it's really special because his favorite number growing up was number 11. But we got to high school, and I kind of took that number because it was the smallest jersey available. Then he went to number 5. But this being the 11th episode is a very special one, and you guys are in for a treat. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the 11th episode of the Backyard Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to an episode of the Backyard Podcast. I'm your host, Marcellus Howard, and I am here with a very special guest. My very first NBA guest, but he's not really an NBA player to me. This is just my brother. We go way back since about 11, 12 years old. A lot of stories that we're going to get into today. But DJ Wilson, also known as Devontae. How you doing, man?
Hey, man, appreciate you, my brother.
Appreciate you, letting me come into your crib and establishing my setup.
No doubt.
And talk some free game today, man. I wanted to ask you something off rip. Mm-hmm. When we first met, is it true you were rocking Big Ben's with a Kobe sweatband and a tank top?
Nah, see, because I don't even think that's when we first met. I feel like we first met full court.
Oh, we did meet at full court. Okay.
On some, just passing by. We was the same age, so we was in the same league.
That's facts.
We played against each other probably twice. That was the first time I really played organized basketball, and that was what?
I was 8 or 9 years old? 7, 8, 9, 10?
Nah, I came later on the scene. I was probably 5th, 6th grade.
5th, 6th grade?
5th grade, maybe.
So then short after we played for the Yellow Jackets, right? That's when I first met you at Norwood High School. Now, one thing about DJ, man, he's always been the most clumsiest person I've met, but one of the most hardest workers. So before we get into any stories, I just want to go ahead and give you your flowers, man. Seeing your progress and seeing how you elevated and been through the trials and tribulations and pushed through it, man. I just want to say I'm proud of you. And you continue to inspire all of us. I'm already knowing. And
I can say the same thing about you, bro.
you know.
We here because of you. Look, the whole setup, everything.
Well, man, I'm just a messenger. But so we went to rival middle schools. We went to Sutter.
Were they rivals though? It wasn't really a rivalry for us. You know what I mean?
Listen. We went to rival middle
when
school.
When you don't lose to a team, bro, I don't know if it's a rivalry.
We never beat y'all?
Come on. Give me a date. Give me a date, bro.
I vividly damn, we never beat Sutter. Well, anyways, it was a rivalry because it was crosstown rivals, and I remember we were playing you guys. This is 7th grade year. I don't know if you remember this. This is kind of a funny moment.
Mind you, we on the same AAU team, but we going to different middle schools.
Yes, same AAU team, going to different middle schools. So I already knew you. I knew Nephi. I knew UC. Knew Justice. I remember the 7th grade at Sam Brandon, and it is the first quarter. You get a baseline jump shot, and you shoot it off the side of the glass, and your coach pulls you out within the first minute. I've never seen like that in my life.
Yeah, I feel like that's when my confidence for the remainder of my middle school tenure was taken from me and stripped. I remember that game, and I remember that day forward. I was like, bro, if I get this ball, I don't know if I'm going to shoot it right then and there. But I got over it, and I feel like we ended up winning that game anyways.
Yeah, no, you guys won by at least 30 points. That was never the problem of winning or losing. It was just the funny aspect of it.
And I remember your dad.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Your pops was the craziest of the games.
Nah, pops was he showed a lot of love. I'll say that. He showed a lot of love, a lot of tough love, and he was in front row every game.
Yeah, you're going to hear him.
You're definitely going to hear him. Now, moving back to the AAU scene. So after middle school, we had stopped playing with each other going into high school, but there was one incident where we kind of left on a bad note.
Yeah.
This was at Hardwood Palace, I think. Do you want to tell the story?
Go ahead.
So,
I want to hear how you gonna tell it.
This is my side of the story. This is what I remember. This is in 8th grade, I believe, and we are at Hardwood Palace. Are we playing Delaware Eagles?
We're playing somebody.
Somebody boo boo, and we're losing. We're playing terrible. So mid game, DJ says something. I don't remember what he said, and we start arguing mid game. So we call a timeout. Me and him argue on the bench. We're getting cussed out by our coaches. Yada yada. After that game, I never see DJ come to practice again. So I'm like, wait, where'd DJ go? Oh yeah, he didn't left. So at this point, I'm like, man, bump it, I'm leaving. So I'm cool. I'm cool off DJ. I'm 100% cool off him. And then long behold, we go to the same high school.
Yeah, no, facts. And I feel like it was a little bit more heated than that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know more vividly than I do.
Nah, yeah, we definitely exchanged some words. Being on the same team, like during a dead ball, something like that. Like it got to a point where like we started walking to each other and like damn near squaring off like at half court, being teammates. I remember like Coach James and them having to like split it up, whatnot, blah blah, yelling at us.
Okay, I remember that.
And I look at my mom. I just get up. We walk out. Last time I was Yellow Jacket.
That was your Yellow Jackets retirement.
And I was like, yeah, I'm good off dude. Like I don't want nothing to do with dude no more. Like if I don't see Cel for the rest of my life, I'm good. Come to find out, a couple months later, went to the smallest school in the city.
Smallest school in the city for 4 years. Now going into freshman year, you were playing.
You had no business going to that school either.
I had zero business.
You lived like across the whole city.
I lived in South Sacramento. It's about a 30-minute drive to Capitol. You lived up the street, so it made sense.
I was finna go to Sac High. Like I was enrolled. I had my uniforms, everything.
Why'd you want to go to Sac High though?
That was just, for one, I wasn't gonna go to Rosemont. So that was like the nearest school to me, Sac High. And then I probably had the most ties there. And when Coach Devon got the job, and
that's true. Happened. So going into freshman year, you were playing varsity in the summer, right? That freshman year summer, you were playing VAR up with like B. Simmons, Matt Dowling, Mike Brill, and them. And then the start of the season, you could push back down to JV. Did that mess with your confidence at all?
Nah, not really. Cause when I was at the VAR level, I realized I was like, wait, hold on. But granted, like we weren't playing the same teams that were in the league. Like those teams in the league were trash. Like we were playing still like Pleasant Groves, like the top teams in the cities. So it was eye opening for me for real. And then going down to JV, it was a fun experience. Like just being able to do what I wanted. Had Coach Devon as my coach.
Facts.
Like I grew that year a lot, and then being able to play varsity the next year just definitely helped me.
So I remember after freshman. Oh, go ahead.
That freshman year, that's not to say that you wasn't like the starting PG freshman year on VAR, like out of nowhere.
But that was out of nowhere. So
like we flipped roles. Like I was the one playing.
I was about to say that.
And you was on the JV team, and then when the season really started, we just flip
flop, and it was weird because It was weird because when I went there, I remember this conversation I had with Coach Phil. I shouldn't. Well, you know what, Coach Phil, I love you. I'm gonna tell that story anyways. He told me straight up, you're just too small to play varsity. At the time, I'm taller than dude, so I'm like, I'm taller than you. But he's like, yeah, you're just too small to play VAR. And so me and you started on JV, me, you, Nephi, and then we flipped like 8 games in. He's like, yeah, no, you're coming to varsity practice on Monday after the Whitney tournament when we lost to Franklin, and he brought me up. And I was just like, dude, this is crazy because I worked hard. Don't get me wrong. But I wasn't putting the same amount of work you was putting in. I wasn't riding a bike to school early in the morning, putting up shots before school and working out after school. Wearing the goggles. He'll wear the goggles with the little ball handling drills. And when you got pushed back down to JV, did it actually push you to work harder though to get back to varsity though?
Yeah, for sure. Because it was like, I knew next year I was going to play varsity.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of whether or not, like, how much I was going to play, this and that. So, I feel like me wanting to get better day in and day out, year by year, was always there. I was set in stone from a young age.
Yeah.
From my mom and Anthony, my godfather. They always taught me, hard work. You got to put the work in for the results to pay off and for them to showcase themselves. So that was just a tribute to that.
Now, so you brought this up, so I actually want to harp on this point again or one more time. You said mother and godfather aunt, right? So single parent household with your mom. Growing up, you always see the stories of like people with single parents and how they want to give everything back to their mom or their father, whoever the single parent was, just because of the hardship they had to go through as a kid. with a single parent household as a kid, how was that on you mentally?
I mean, it was great to me. Like, she did such a great job to where she covered any blemish or like anything that I felt like I lacked.
Yeah.
I felt like I had two parents in one house. You know what I mean? My mom really held it down. So
Facts.
I had a great childhood. I knew nothing else, so I didn't know no better. I was naive to, everything else. So, she held it down, and, I continue to try to pay back, as much as I can for what she sacrificed.
Yeah. It's crazy, man, because I've met your mom, and she's one of the greatest one of the greatest people I've ever met. She's strong. She knows how to get it on her own. And like, when I say I used to see her really dedicate her life for your success, not many parents out there can do that. Not many parents out there do that or are willing to do that. So for her to do that, and it's paying tenfold now, right? So it's kind of crazy. And did you ever like have a thought like, I want to meet my biological father?
I want to meet him. Yeah.
Like, did you ever think that in the past?
Yeah, I mean, I've met him like when I was younger type, but not to the point to where I remember, not old enough. Like looking back at pictures and whatnot, not really remembering, like, because I was so young. Yeah. But I'm open to meeting him for sure, having a relationship and whatnot. But I feel like it takes two to tango.
That's true. That's true.
So, not to say that I've set forth to reach out, but who knows? Yeah.
No, that's huge, man. I mean, that shows maturity too, because
it's not like my mom's done a great job, never said a bad word, bad mouthed him at all. So, I have nothing but the utmost respect for her. Yeah. For keeping it G as she could. So
that's big, man. Like I said, that shows a sign of maturity, because a lot of people can't think that way, or they won't allow themselves to be on that type of mindset of being open to meeting someone who left them in their childhood, right? For sure. But now kind of fast forwarding to sophomore year, Marysville High School, the dunk master. So what was? Can you please tell people about that story?
You really got to give like a whole backdrop into like the transition of like the coaching.
Okay, like, you're right. So going into sophomore, we had a whole new coach. I had a whole new coach every year except for my junior and senior year with the same coach. So we had 3 different coaches. And our sophomore year, we get an older guy, and he was very old school. We're talking about we had to wear the same undershirt, had to wear the same socks, had to wear the same shoes. If we didn't wear the same socks and we were in the starting lineup, we wouldn't start. And it's pretty much to a T.
Like, he benched our best player.
Literally.
For not wearing the same socks in like the biggest game of the year at the time.
Literally. at Antelope High School, I was like, why are we benching Matt? He's our best player.
Ended up losing.
He's like, yeah, he'd have the same matching socks on. I said, who gives a damn? But fast forward, so in league, we played this school called Marysville, and you go ahead and talk about that, man. He got the nickname the Dunk Master this night. Mind you, we won the game by 30. But coach came into the locker room hot at this guy specifically.
Because, it was at a time when I was around, I got to, I think, sophomore year, I was probably like 6'6".
Yep.
And so I was just trying to dunk as much as I could. Like once you get your first couple of dunks, especially in game at the JV, you like, what? I'm trying to dunk everything. So Marysville, we was blowing them out type. I think I had a fast break or something like that. And I missed it. And then shortly after, UC in the same position, he misses it too. We end up blowing him out. I'm thinking nothing of it. We joking and whatnot. We come to the locker room. Coach is not on none of that.
He was on everybody's head.
He red, fuming at the face, vessels busting out his face and whatnot, screaming at the top of his lungs, blah blah. And then he got to me. I forgot what he said because I was one ear and out the other, but all I heard was Dunk Master.
He's like, DJ, and you 6'6", you going for dunks and missing it. What do you think you are, some freaking Dunk Master? And like, I kid you, when he said that, I held back every ounce of laugh that I wanted. I wanted to laugh so bad.
For the rest of the year, they were calling me Dunk Master. But I remember the next practice.
The next practice.
Was like, every opportunity I had, like if I had an open three, like 5-on-0 offense, or if we were just doing something, like I was not shooting, I was going to go dunk the ball.
Literally, I think
just try to make a statement. I probably dunked the ball 100 times in the practice.
That next practice, every warm drill dunk, every game bucket was a dunk. I've never seen somebody dunk as many times like that in a game situation. It kind of was amazing to see that because one, I wasn't jumping that high sophomore year, so I was like, wow, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Let's not get things twisted though, bro.
Hey.
You was windmilling like as a freshman at 5'6". Like
listen. Hey,
don't let Cel fool you, bro.
Listen.
That was above the rim for sure.
I was above the rim. Keyword was, but I also do you remember this? It was sophomore year of practice, and I don't know if anybody remembers this. This is like we're scrimmaging and we're on different teams for some reason. I come down the lane and I punch on you.
What?
You remember that?
No. No. Go ahead though. And then you woke up.
I vividly remember punching on you.
And then you woke up and it was the bell rang.
I woke up and I had to go to 7th period math class. Right? But this was playoff practice actually.
Really?
I remember I put my knee in your chest type. Yeah. Like it was like really bad. It was very bad. It was so bad to the point. It was so bad to the point where coach thought about demoting you to JV.
What? What?
Guys, I am talking out my ass right now.
I was finna say, I don't remember that.
No, I have cappy.
I was thinking like, wait, did that happen?
So sophomore year, was that the year you started playing for Team Superstar? Or who'd you play for that going into that junior year for AAU?
Going into junior year, I started playing with Team Superstar, yeah.
Team Superstar. And that's when you started getting some college looks.
Yeah, because I played a couple tournaments here and there before I got hurt. And yeah, I had got a couple looks, like mid-major, like low.
Do you remember which colleges they were?
At the time, what they were like, Portland, Cal Poly.
Okay.
UOP.
That's solid, bro.
Some West Coast Conference schools. Yeah, a bunch of West Coast schools though.
No, that's solid. Like, you know what I had?
Go ahead.
PHPS, which is not a college, it's an AU team. So you said before you got injured, I believe you fractured or broke your back.
Same thing.
Technically, it's the same thing. One of them sounds worse than the other.
Yeah.
But you were wearing a back brace after you fractured it or broke your back. We want me to say? I don't want to.
It don't matter.
After you broke your back.
My L5.
L5, which is the lumbar.
Yeah, the fifth lumbar.
Fifth lumbar. Talk about that experience though, because I remember seeing you around school every day wearing a back brace.
Nah, so it was actually, when did it happen? It happened. Oh yeah, so the first time it happened that summer, right? AAU summer. And then I had it at the beginning of the school year because it had rolled over to the beginning, like the first month of the school year. Yeah, so I had fractured my L5 on the left side, and I remember at the time, like I was trying to play in the playoffs.
Yeah. Against Bradshaw Christian. That was junior year.
That was junior year.
So you talking about sophomore year playoffs?
No. This is going into my junior year. Okay, yeah. So I did it the first time sophomore, going into my junior year, like that summer. So I missed pretty much all of that AAU circuit.
Facts.
So I only played like a couple tournaments, but I was still playing with like a messed up back.
Yeah.
So when it got to a point to where I felt like I couldn't play, I pretty much missed the whole summer. So I got a couple looks like off 2 tournaments alone. But I had to wear that back brace for 23 hours out the day for like 4 months or 6 months.
So wait, what was the only hour you could take it off?
When I showered.
Oh my gosh.
It was like from like my nipple down to like my hip. Like couldn't move. No, nothing. Like during the summer, sack summers it get like 105, like it's hot, dry. Couldn't swim, couldn't do nothing. And I was just in that back brace for like, it was 5.5 months the first time.
Gosh.
And then finally got it off. They said it was from like growing so much, but not playing basketball at the rate we were. And then the following year, or the end of that year when we were going into the playoffs, our junior year, I did it again to the other side.
Was that against Bradshaw Christian that junior year? I think.
Where I did it in like a practice. I remember it was the day before my birthday. It was February 18th. We had like a playoff practice.
Yeah.
First playoff practice. I went up for a layup and I felt it, and I was like, I feel funny. I kind of felt like the same thing.
Yeah.
And then I tried to play through it. I played like a playoff game or two. I remember in the middle of one of them, I had to go to the ER. Like I missed the
I remember
the
that.
rest of the game.
Yeah.
Because I came down from like a dunk and just locked up. And my whole back was on fire. So I got rushed to the ER. They diagnosed it with the same thing. And then I had to sit out for the rest of that playoffs.
Yeah.
And the rest of that summer for the most part. And I had to do the same thing, like 5.5 months, 23 hours at the day with that back brace, just to the whole other side.
So
I missed pretty much like a year of hoop, like the last 2 years of high school.
Someone who's been through injuries myself, like I can only imagine the mental strain it was on you, especially doing the same injury twice.
Yeah.
So like after you injured it twice, the second time, what was your like mental, like, okay, what was your mentality going into it? Like, I'm about to kill rehab and get back on the court, or like, damn, like, were you in a place where it kind of sucked for a little bit? Like, you were kind of upset at yourself or frustrated or whatever the case may be?
Nah, definitely, because I remember the second time it happened, and like Coach Vaughn came in, and he told the team, and I was in street clothes because my mom had just came in and she told me.
Yeah.
I remember like pretty much like everybody on the team just crying because they already knew I had done it the year prior.
Yeah.
So for like that first week after the second time I did it, it was definitely tough because I was like, man, like am I gonna be able to hoop again?
Yeah.
Like they talking crazy like about like it's my back and it's my spine at this point. It's my second one, so they're talking about if it doesn't heal properly, like paralyzed, like the proper treatment I had to get, why I had to wear the back brace, this and that. So
yeah,
it was definitely like eye opening, and it really like allowed me, or it taught me just, I had to make up for lost time. So I feel like, that's why those summers and those workouts and those days, I did what I had to do.
Yeah.
Make up for lost time.
Man, because you made it for lost time tremendously because you came back from that even better.
Yeah.
I felt like after the back injury, going into your senior year was the best version of DJ we've seen. You're more athletic. You still shoot the ball at a high clip, playing defense. I felt like you had more of a killer instinct going into that senior year. I don't know what that was. Like, I don't know what that was for or why I feel like you had more of a killer instinct then. But I feel like that senior year is when you really tried to distinguish yourself and separate yourself from the competition. Yeah. And I remember you came back from playing with Team Superstar. I forgot who you played against, but I think after that game, you were like, yeah, just picked up the Michigan offer.
Yeah. No, we had played Looney and
Kevon Looney
and Trey Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
We had played the Milwaukee Rebels in Milwaukee at this Under Armour showcase tournament.
Yeah.
And he was like, Looney was like top 3.
Yeah, he was like top 5 in our class.
Yeah. And Trey Jefferson was like going crazy too, especially on the 8, like
OD.
Game crazy. So
OD.
He was really like the one everybody like that weren't the coaches was there to watch because he was just a show in himself, you know what I mean? But everybody was there to watch Looney, and then we had prospects as myself and Malik Pope and whatnot on the team.
Facts.
So I played well that game. I played real well that game, and then the rest of that tournament, I ended up picking a few high major offers, and then from there the rest was history.
Do you remember what high major offers you picked up besides Michigan?
Yeah, like Gonzaga.
Tough.
I know right after that, I took a visit with Malik to Kansas. Damn, that was a minute ago.
I remember it was a minute ago. I remember. I don't know if you remember. Gonzaga. So Mark View came to. So after that, Mark View came to practice. Yeah. Behind came to practice. I want to say Boise State came to practice.
Like all Pac-12.
All Pac-12 came to practice, and there was one one memory I remember. We played 3-on-3 in front of Coach Behind. Is that how you say his name? Beeline, damn, Behind. In front of Coach Beeline. It was me, you, UC. Yeah. I think Tegan was playing.
Yeah, he was there for sure.
Nick.
Yeah, it was Nick.
And I want to say Justice.
May have been
Maybe Just was a Tyler.
I was gonna say Tyler.
I think it was Tyler. And I'll never forget at the end of that 3v3 thing, I walk up to Coach Beeline, introduce myself. Mm-hmm. He tells me
in the hallway.
Hey, I'm not kidding, y'all. He tells me this verbatim. He goes, "Yeah, man, you know, hey, I really love your game. You remind me of Trey Burke." Nigga. I said, I went to tell my boys, I was like, yo, Coach Beeline said I remind him of Trey Burke. That nigga's about to offer right now.
Mind you, Trey Burke, National Player of the Year.
This is after they went to the national championship. So I said, you know I play Trey Burke? He's like, yeah. So I don't know if he's blowing smoke up my ass, but I remember that vividly. So I went to go tell my boys, and that was the last time we talked. We didn't exchange numbers or anything, but it was a dope moment for someone to tell you that you play like our National Player of the Year.
That's funny. That's
but so leading into your decision to Michigan, what was the deciding factor? Because that's all the way across the country. Yeah. First player in Sacramento history to play in the Big Ten. So like,
I just wanted to accept the challenge. I wanted to get away from home.
Yeah.
I wanted to, just spread my wings and see if I could really do it.
Yeah.
I could have stayed close to home. I could have went to Cal. I could have went, as far as up the road as I could to Gonzaga up north. But the biggest thing really on my my commitment trip, because my official visit is when I committed on the trip.
Yeah.
It was another kid that they were looking at the time, and they were kind of higher on him than they were on me. They had been recruiting him for longer. But on my visit, he decided to go to Clemson.
Okay.
So once he decided to go to Clemson, I was like, yeah, I'm going there, like, regardless.
Yeah.
But now it's like less comp. I got a better chance at this and that, blah, blah. And I felt like if he had committed, then he would have took the scholarship and I wouldn't have one, something like that.
Oh, so basically it was like you guys both had a scholarship, but if he committed, the scholarship would be gone type thing.
Something like that, yeah.
That's crazy.
So he ended up committing to Clemson on my visit.
Yeah.
And I remember right when I found out, like, I didn't tell my mom nothing. I didn't tell anybody till like that morning. We pulled up to Coach B's house, say our final goodbyes, and then like right before I was about to say goodbye to Coach B, like I pulled my mom aside. I'm like, I'm about to commit. She like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm about to pull it. Like,
yeah,
forget it. So as soon as we were about to say goodbye, this and that, blah blah. I said, Coach, I think I want to be a Wolverine. Or, as a matter of fact, I know I want to be a Wolverine, this and that.
Yeah.
I want to take you up on that offer. And the rest is history. Yeah.
That's crazy. So you get there, and then you get like the feeling of, oh, the other dude committed. I could really make this work. I can come here and impact the team right away. And
so I thought. So
you thought, right? So before we get to the freshman year story, you've always been somewhat of a late bloomer, right?
Sure.
In middle school, especially in high school, like your third year, you start to bloom. Ironically, third year at Michigan, start to bloom. Like second, third year in the league, you start to become your own. And it's just like, it's kind of like a trend. Like, dude, he's a late bloomer, but I don't think it's more so of coincidence. It's more of the work put in. A lot of people out there want the same result without putting the same amount of work in. But yeah, I just wanted to make that point because I don't know if anybody's ever said that or even acknowledged it.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's definitely something I've heard like here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And going back to your freshman year at Michigan, you're a true freshman, and I remember watching the Villanova game.
Yeah. Mind you, like, I'm already knowing because, like, before the Villanova game, like, in practice alone, I'm like, bro, college is different. Like,
yeah.
Let alone, like, this Big Ten
stuff. Yeah, talk about that.
Like, and I'm coming in at 6'9". I was like 196.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a tall string bean, California light-skinned kid.
Yeah.
With curly hair going to the big, like, it's just a whole complete different world.
Yeah.
And it's the most physical conference in the country. And, like, they play true bigs. And 3 through 5 is, like, big.
Yeah.
Like, Purdue is, like, Caleb Swanigan, A.J. Hammonds, Isaac Haas. Like, that's all 7 feet, like, 270 plus.
I remember that.
At 3 through 5. So that was something, like, I just had to prepare for. And just naturally, my body just wasn't ready for that pounding day in and day out, let alone through practice. So that Villanova game was what I think the third game.
It's like third or fourth game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was a big play, crunch time, or not? Yeah, it was crunch time. Pick and roll. I remember the timeout, bro. Like Derek came up to me. He's like, "Hey, Coach B, gonna draw something up. Like you gonna be open. Watch." I'm like, all right, bet, I'll be ready. So he draws it up, blah blah. Pick and roll. He like, DJ, when you get the ball, shoot off the glass so you can go try to dunk it. Like it's gonna be there. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all right, bet. Derek like, go dunk it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, well, I might shoot a bank. Like, so I think we in Barclays.
Yep.
And so he hits me in pocket pass. He like leading me into the dunk. Like he couldn't throw it short. He couldn't throw it straight to me. He threw it in front of me. So he led me into the dunk. I'm like, all right, I see what you want. So I go, I plant, and I see this guard come out of nowhere, Tyler Ennis.
Yep.
And I go to like dunk it, thinking like I can just go, pah. And he comes out of nowhere and he like cuffs it and he throws it down. And as he throws the basketball down, I come down with it. Like I come down under my leg and like my knee folds like something crazy,
bro.
And luckily, like I'm hypermobile and I'm flexible, so it wasn't as worse as it could have been. But I had like a sprained knee and I had to sit out for like a month. But within that month, I did a lot of thinking.
What was on your mind during that month?
Like as bad as I wanted to be, like you hear the stories of being one and done, like. You go to the major program, everybody wanted you one and done, this, the next that. It was a tough pill to swallow because you kind of realize, like, damn, like, maybe, like, maturely, naturally, I'm just not ready to be one and done. And then this right here set me back, too.
Yeah.
So kind of was like, it was a tough pill to swallow, but, I did a lot of thinking. I talked to all my teammates, Karis, Cam.
Yeah.
I talked to Coach B at the time. We thought it was the best decision. Even if I was to come back, just being able to take a whole year and work with, we had the best coach or the weight coach, strength coach in the country in Sanderson. And that year it paid dividends because like I ended up being 240 from 196 to 240 by the end of my redshirt freshman year.
Yeah.
Gained like 9 inches on my vert. Like I became a whole new player.
Yeah.
A whole new person. So
it's kind of a blessing in disguise.
Nah, for sure. It definitely was.
And for those of you who don't know, the reason why that story is kind of crazy because in high school, senior year specifically, he was dunking on people on the regular. And I remember junior year, I was recording on the bench. It was against Marysville at home. I remember off the drop step, you punched on bro so bad. The game didn't shut down. But I remember I sit up out of my seat, and I'm on one leg. I have a torn ACL. I sit up out of my seat out of adrenaline.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, let's go. But I forgot I'm recording, so I'm like, oh wait, I gotta make sure the camera's all still and stuff. So I couldn't really enjoy the moment. But then playing with you senior year, being able to see you like perform as I would say, not you didn't overperform. I feel like you perform to the best of the abilities you put the work in for, meaning that you already were prepared for that. You were prepared for your last high school game against Ivan Rad when you had 30.
Yeah.
Like that was the moment I was like, okay, I had 0 points. He had 30. I said, yeah, you know what? This guy right here, he's meant for the league. Or at least he's met for the next level. And then that's when I realized I was not putting in the amount of work or effort that I should have been putting in. I knew that I was bullshitting on the low. But sophomore year comes around at Michigan, and then you start to get way more playing time. You start to impact the game a little bit. And I kind of want to skip through to your junior year, which is your best year there. It was the first
redshirt sophomore year.
My bad. Redshirt sophomore year, junior year academically. It was like the first 2 games of the season. Were they on ESPN?
Yeah, it was a tournament.
Right?
Yeah, I think it was the 2K Classic.
2K Classic.
Yeah, we were playing in Barclays or MSG.
MSG, and you was dunking shit. You was getting buckets, and I'm like, oh, this the DJ we know. Like this is the DJ everybody's accustomed to. And granted, it's that second, third year, like that turnaround. What switch flipped for you that junior year, like that made you like become an NBA player?
I think it was that summer, or I know it was that summer.
Okay, what'd you do that summer?
I remember working out with Charlie, my man, Charlie Torres, who still I work with to this day out here.
Yeah.
He's an NBA trainer. Going back home to Sac, like catching the Greyhound like every week to LA, like a 13-hour trip, like once a week or twice a week. I'd take it out there, spend 2 days, just come back on the Greyhound, go back and forth. So just like getting in that work with him, being around like those pro runs, being around other pros, them critiquing my game, giving me advice and feedback and whatnot, them telling me and hearing that from other pros that I'm more than capable of doing it.
Yeah.
It just instilled like another level of confidence, along with me just getting better at the game as well. So going back, like I remember, it's funny, like me and Muhammad, we were just talking about it yesterday, like the first couple months I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't talk to no teammates, no coaches. Like I was just in a whole different mindset of like, this is how I just gotta act if I gotta get it. Like, and it was working.
yeah.
And it was working. Like I became a whole nother player, like a whole nother person.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, the flip kind of just switched. Or the switch flipped.
The switch definitely flipped.
The switch flipped.
The switch flipped. And I asked you that because it was a night and day difference from the mentality of your freshman playing year, after your redshirt freshman year, to your redshirt sophomore year. And I always wondered, I never got to ask you that, like what was the switch for you that flipped? And knowing that you put the summer leading into it was a big part of it, kind of makes sense now, because after I watched those 2 games, I think I talked to Coach Yvonne. He was just like, dude, he's like, yo, you watching this right now? And I'm like, yeah, man, he's balling. He's like, dude, he's hooping.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how Coach Yvonne be, right? And it was in that moment.
Dude, he had like 30. I had like 12.
He'd be like, he has 30, all dunks. I'm like, Coach, all right, now you wilding. But in that moment, I realized, I was like, he has a legit chance of making it to the league. And then that notion was solidified for me, or that thought was solidified against Michigan State when you dunked the ball. And I think you yelled at the wrong, but did you yell at the person you dunked on, or did you yell at the wrong person?
No, I yelled at the dude I dunked on.
So you dunked on him at Michigan State.
No, it was
at Michigan?
No, it was at the crib, yeah.
So you dunked on him at Michigan. And I remember the exact, you got a tech.
I got a tech. Like, you don't give a tech out in that moment.
Right?
A rivalry game.
It was that moment.
Even nothing crazy. It's not even like
I mean, you like.
It was borderline techish, but.
I mean,
not in a rivalry game, you don't give a tech out like that.
Definitely
in
not.
any other game, maybe, but not something like that, because the intensity was just so high to begin with.
Facts. I remember that dunk. The intensity came out, and I remember you literally locked eyes with bro. But bro was trying to run back on defense, and you're yelling at him as you're running back on D. And I said, he got that. He got that dog in him. He got that dog in him. And like you said, you don't tee somebody up in a rivalry game, to say the least. And I actually want to ask you about that, because I've never got the chance to play in a big rivalry game like that. Michigan and Michigan State. You had to play in that twice?
I played in it a few times.
Twice each year, right?
Yeah, twice each year. One at their crib, one in ours. And then if you play them in the tournament or the Big Ten tournament, you play them.
What's the atmosphere like playing a rivalry game like that? Because that's like a whole lead up, like a week lead up, right?
No, it's a few days, because you played a couple league games throughout the week. But no, you definitely got the rivalry ones circled.
Yeah.
'Cause you know they're going to bring it. Especially like you got so many interstate kids on those teams. Like we had a couple kids from Michigan that really understand the rivalry. And then you got a few kids from Michigan State that are from Flint, that are from Grand Rapids, that are from out there. So they really, like inherited the rivalry too. So they take it really serious, to where like we kind of coming into the game like, yo, like these fans are going nuts for what?
Yeah.
Not like, at first I didn't understand it, but then you really grow to understand it like on the day in and day out basis, when you got their head circled like on a weight room wall, and then you got to throw a med ball at it and whatnot. Like,
yeah.
coaches are really trying to instill like, no, we got to kill these dudes because we taking it personal. Yeah, so it's like that, especially when you go there at Michigan State.
Yeah, I
like,
was like, what is that playing there? Because watching it on TV doesn't do it justice.
Yeah, like the starting lineups when they call out the Wolverines, everybody in the crowd got white newspapers. Like they
that's hard.
They call out your name and they like, who? And they go back to reading the newspaper. Like it's hard. Like they're not even paying attention. Like it's a whole different atmosphere. Like they talking crazy too. Nothing is off limits.
What's the craziest thing a fan's ever said to you? At any level? Now that you say that.
I don't know. That's a tough one, like straight off the top. Because there's been a few, definitely.
So I'm saying, like, I can imagine.
Like that, definitely, college kids don't care.
At all.
Especially when they drunk, they've been drinking all morning. Like,
what?
Nothing is off limits.
Yeah.
Even in the NBA. Yeah, you definitely don't
for
hear
sure.
it.
Because I can only imagine being human, playing at such a high level. Some people forget that you guys are still kids, still teenagers at the time. And when they see you guys on TV, they think of, oh, they're professionals, they should be able to handle it. But even professionals are still human. And one problem I always have with fans and hecklers, like you can say anything basketball, that's fine. But when people start talking about you, your life, and like getting personal, I'm like that's where the line gets crossed, because at the end of the day, we're human. So like, if you saw somebody on the sidewalk walking across the street, you wouldn't be like, hey, something about their mother or something about them as a person. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like I feel like that should be the same thing.
But that's why too, like you gotta take it with a grain of salt. You can't really put too much, like you can't look too much into it, because like you said, they wouldn't say it to you if you were crossing the street.
Exactly.
Or if they were to see you passing, like
you better than me. I got a little bit of a temper.
For sure.
So if someone said it to me in the stands, I might stop the game right then and there.
Sure. I had to tell Cel a couple times, like on like, hey, bro, like it's good. Like you don't got to reply back to nobody about me, bro. Like, people online definitely like they'll say this and that, or they have in the past, whatever. Mind you, like I'm not even seeing it. I'm not even paying no mind. But I follow Cel on Twitter, so I'll see something he quotes me, and I'm like, Cel, bro, you good, bro? Like, I'm not even like, but that's Cel, though. I appreciate it.
Nah, man, like I said, I always go to bat for my guys, any of my dogs, man. If I see anybody talking crazy about them, I will quote or mention you directly then and there. Ain't no subtweets for me. I come at you directly. And because it's just like, when I don't speak on nobody bad, like in terms of to where it comes to the point where it's like, okay, like you're really like bullying this person, cyberbullying this person, right? And it comes to the point where I see people online like tweet stuff about DJ or whoever, and it's just like, you don't know the work that's put in. So I'm like, you don't have the capability or nor the right to sit here and bash somebody you don't know.
Which is why you pay no mind either, because they don't know.
I know, but then it's just like, nigga, shut up. Like, I get that little urge, but I've been doing better.
I feel you though.
Yeah, I've been doing way better, man. I've been doing way better at it. So after that, I've definitely slowed down and say, man, you know what? It's not even worth it. So I'm going to go and take a grain of salt. But after your junior year, right? Well, during, you make it to the March Madness.
Yeah.
Sweet 16.
We end up actually winning the Big Ten tournament after we got.
Oh my gosh! Bro. Yes. Yeah. So, talk about the Big Ten tournament flight incident.
Yeah. So we headed to the Big Ten tournament as an 8 seed. Nobody's really expecting us to lose. At this time, we kind of like a fringe bubble team in the tournament. Like we started off the year real well, and then towards like the middle, we kind of hit some rough patches. Then we start finishing strong. And so we're headed to the Big Ten tournament, headed to DC, and we're set to play Illinois the next day. So it was the windiest day of the year in Michigan. And as we taken off, we took the bigger plane this time, because we was taking the cheerleaders with us, and we had families amongst us too. So we're taking off. It's the windiest day. I guess our signal tower went down at the airport, so we had to get the okay to take off from like the next airport in Detroit. So end up taking off, and as we're max speed, about to take off the runway, and our front wheel like takes off a little bit.
Shit.
You feel it, pow, slap back down on the runway, and we're going back like full speed on the ground.
Yeah. And
he's trying to hit the brakes, and you can kind of feel like the plane trying to slow down, but we're going so fast at the time, it's not. So everybody's kind of looking around at the time. I got a window seat on the wing. I'm looking out. I'm like, yo, there's only so much runway we got left. Like,
yeah.
I'm looking around. Everybody's kind of looking around at this point. And I see some gates, probably like 50 yards ahead of us. As soon as I saw the gates were gone. We ran through them. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, all right, now we in a field.
Yeah.
Off the runway, we in a whole open field. I'm like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
Now everything, the cabin's getting smoky. You're starting to hear pops. I'm looking at a black flight attendant, this lady, she's crying. I'm like, lady, if you crying, and this is your job, what am I supposed to be doing?
You're supposed to be the one keeping the peace.
Right. Those who didn't have seatbelts on, because we were hitting bumps and ditches, those who didn't have seatbelts on, they were hitting the top of the cabin, backpacks were flying.
Gosh.
Everybody was crying and whatnot. And so it got to a point of us like really sliding like for probably like 10, 15 seconds, like off the runway. And in front of us was probably, not probably, it was a big forest, and it was like 15 yards ahead of us. And so if we weren't to hit this ditch that was big enough to stop the entire plane, we would have hit the trees, and who knows what would have happened.
So you guys hit a ditch that was able to stop.
Yeah.
So you guys basically crashed into a ditch, in a way.
Yeah, in a way, like the bottom of the plane got collapsed, and that's why we had to wear practice jerseys in the Big Ten tournament, because all the equipment was on the bottom. So
That's crazy.
all our gear, everything was gone.
In that moment, did you fear for your life?
Nah, for sure. Like once I seen the flight attendant cried, that's when I was like, all right, something.
Yeah.
Nah, I've never experienced this before. Like,
Gosh.
for sure. And then we thought everything was good. It got to a point like the plane stopped, everybody locked in. Like, all right, we got to get out of here. So people started taking off the emergency doors. Dirk, our point guard, actually, Walden, he got messed up because he got hit with the emergency door and he had to get stitches all down his leg. Whoa! Like the same day, and he played the next because it cut open his whole leg. So it got to a point where it was like the basketball team and the cheerleaders at the middle, like on the wing for the emergency door, and it was like, all right, who better get up out of here first? Like, when I tell you, like, we bum rushed the cheerleaders to get out that plane first. We made sure, bro, we was gonna be straight. Not to say we didn't help them afterwards, but we was out. And so now it was really one of them situations where like we jumped on the wing, beeline, and like the families are at the front of the plane, so they're sliding down the slide like at the front of the cockpit.
So is this plane only for Michigan personnel? Like this is all Michigan people on there?
It's all Michigan
okay,
people,
gotcha.
And, like,
okay,
the cheerleaders and families, and we're on the wing. And like because we're on the ditch, we gotta like jump off, and it's like a 15, 20-foot drop. So when you jump, you gotta like somersault into the ground. Like we really rolling and tumbling. Cheerleaders are really catching themselves in baskets, like they really in formation, like off the wing onto the ground. And then as we all on the ground, like by the plane thing, everything cool, we hear over the intercom like, yo, run. These things blow up all the time.
No way.
You're like, bro, what?
These things blow up all the time?
We got to striking it to the, like, in the middle of the trees. We didn't know where we was running. We just taking off as far as we could. And then a couple hours went by, and we kind of just rounded up in, like, the hangar of, like, the planes at the airport.
Yeah.
We kind of went back and forth about what we were going to do. Ended up meeting later on at the gym, at the practice facility. Coach kind of went around and took a vote. He was like, yo, we can either bus it tonight or we can take the Pistons plane in the morning and arrive right before the game. I'm like, dude, like I will walk to DC before I get on the plane. Yeah. We ended up flying the next morning. Like his vote ended up, ruling over everybody, and we ended up flying the next morning. But yeah. We won 4 games in 4 days. We ended up showing up like 30 minutes before our first game against Illinois in our practice jerseys. Brand new shoes, ain't even broke in. Got them boys up out of there.
I remember that.
Played Purdue the next game. Got them boys up out of there.
Yep.
Played Minnesota, and then we played Wisconsin.
Yep.
4 games in 4 days. As an 8 seed, it was like the highest seed or the lowest seed to win the Big Ten tournament too.
That was crazy because when I seen that, I was like, why the hell is they practice jersey on? But then I saw on every social media outlet that the plane had just kind of crashed, and I was like, whoa.
No, that was God right there, bro. Like that was God. Like
1,000.
The run that we went on, how well I was playing, like
bro, you was hooping.
Like,
did you make all tournament team?
Something like that. And then Dirk won the MVP.
Yep. And So, well, first of all, that's a crazy story, bro. I've never actually heard the full story. I've always heard bits and pieces about you scuffing your shoes on a plane and stuff like that. And I never knew it was like that severity of like you had to run and jump off the wing. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. So that leading into the March Madness tournament, we've always, as kids, seen like the March Madness, like the one shining moment. Now you're about to be a part of this.
Yeah.
I know you want to win the whole thing. So going into it after winning the Big Ten championship, now you guys are going into the March Madness tournament. Walk me through that, because that is a once in a lifetime opportunity to play in that.
It was definitely fun. It was an experience. I mean, I had been to the tournament before, but not as like a starter, not as
a premier player.
You know what I mean? So being able to play in like those atmospheres, that was definitely like, that was something I've never been, you can't replicate.
Yeah.
Because we played Oklahoma State. That was a tough game. They were good. That was the fastest team I've ever played.
It was up and down for sure.
Like, that was the fastest team I've ever played. And then we played Louisville. They were 2 seed.
Yep. You guys beat them.
Mitchell and them boys, they were good.
And then y'all fumbled against Oregon in the Sweet 16. Facts. I think it was that offensive rebound.
Now that, and we had a couple more mental lapses just down the stretch, like plays that we knew they were about to run that like we just didn't cover, like just mental lapses, like that we look back on and you like, bro, what?
Who won that year?
Gonzaga hit the game winner. Chris Jenkins hit it against North Carolina.
No, Gonzaga hasn't won championship yet.
Or not Gonzaga.
UNC, Villanova.
Villanova hit the game winner. Chris Jenkins, Villanova.
So what were we saying though? About you said, and then about the Oregon game. My bad, cut you off on accident.
Oh no. Yeah, I missed a box out too down the stretch. Mm-hmm. That was a big play. And then, like I said, we had a couple of just dumb mental lapses on defense. Like, we knew what they were running. We went over to play. Everybody knew on the court except like one person at the time, and it happened like twice in a row. Damn. Yeah.
You guys are so close.
And we missed the game winner.
And you missed the game winner. And you guys are so close to getting to the Elite Eight. I feel like once you get into that, the tournament, it's free game. It's just matchups. You guys actually matched up well with every team, and I feel like you guys would have matched up well with UNC or Villanova, given that what you guys have just been through. So you guys have confidence.
We would have to play Kansas first.
Who's on that Kansas team?
Josh Jackson, Frank Mason.
Ooh.
Who else?
That was the next game you'd have played?
Yeah.
In that Elite Eight?
Oregon had to beat Kansas.
Did Oregon beat them?
Mm-hmm. And then they lost to North Carolina in the final
That's
four.
right. That could have been y'all.
And they lost on the box out.
Ironic. Mm-hmm. What Drake say? Ain't it crazy how things change?
Come back full circle, ain't it?
Did he say that though?
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did.
Tables turn, bridges burn, you live and learn.
And after that game, now you're preparing for the NBA draft.
Mm-hmm.
How many workouts did you get?
Well, honestly, at the time, I didn't even know I was preparing for the NBA. I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I didn't.
Oh, I remember you were at sport courts.
Yeah.
And you're working out.
This was the first year that they allowed you to go back.
That's right.
Test the waters.
That's right.
And so I waited up until like the deadline.
Literally, I think the day of.
The day of.
Yeah.
I told Coach B, I was like, I'm gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he literally like flew out like that night. It was me, him, Coach Sadi, the assistant coach of Michigan, and Coach Devon, and my mom. We had dinner. Kind of told him like my thoughts.
Yeah.
My mom spoke her piece. We didn't agree. Didn't end on good terms.
Bruh.
I could say that dinner kind of went south, to be honest. From that, I kind of just made my decision based off that alone, and the rest is history.
So when you made that decision, you were 100% in. Like you were 100%. There wasn't no going back.
Wasn't no going back. And I have a lot of workouts to be honest, because I didn't even do anything at the combine.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like a mystery guy at the time, because I had got hurt at a workout.
Yeah.
Prior to the combine, right before, And so
I remember it was. I remember the team it was with.
And so it didn't really allow me to do much at the combine, but I didn't really say much about it. So I just tested and whatnot, like the measurements, did my interviews, and then I had a few private workouts after my pro day with a few teams.
Yeah.
And that was that.
So did you know you were going 17 to Milwaukee, or did you know that day? Like, did you have any preconceived notion?
No. I didn't know I was going. Like, I wasn't sure, like, fully guaranteed that I was going 17. I knew I had a good chance of going, like, middle to late first round. It was a matter of where.
Yeah.
Because I had a couple teams that, had, like, promised and guaranteed.
Yeah.
Towards, like, the back end of the first. So I knew I kind of had, like, a safety net in a way. It was just a matter of me, if a team was willing to pick me up before then, that I had worked out with, or that I hadn't. And I had worked out with Milwaukee. And they had the 17th pick. And they called me, I think, called my agent when it was like the 8th or 9th pick. And I went in a room by myself. And I remember I had like my family and friends in one room. And then it was my mom, Anthony, my grandma, and
your TS coaches.
Yeah, LeBron and Vaughn, and myself and my agent in another room watching the draft.
Yep.
And I went in a separate room with my agent, and he told me the rundown. And John Horst was on the phone, the GM of the Bucks. He told me, if I was available at 17, that they were going to take me and whatnot. And I went back out to the room with my mom and them with a straight face. They're like, "Is everything good? This and that." Yeah. I'm like, "Yeah, no," because I didn't want to say anything. I did not want to count any chickens before they hatch.
Facts.
I had to make sure I seen it for myself, before anything. So I'm like, "Yeah, nah." They're like, "What's the phone call about?" I'm like, "Nah, just just typical phone call, just in the team, this and that, blah blah." So my agent's having me the whole time, like 17th pick coming up. I'm like, "Is it gonna happen? This and that." So I'm like, "Nah, it's gonna happen. I gotta speak this into existence." So I pull out my phone, I start recording. Yeah, and the rest is history.
I remember that day like it was yesterday. We were at which hotel is that downtown? It was I forgot the name of it, but I remember we're in the room. I'm with Kyle. I think Tyler's there. I think your other homeboy you grew up with was there.
Keelan, Sarah.
Yep, and everybody's in there, and the 17th pick comes on. I don't know who told us to get our cameras out. I forgot who. It might have been. Was Phil Oates there?
I don't think so.
No, he was contacting Devon, but Devon was in your room or in our room? I think he's in our room.
He was in your room.
And I remember I think it might have been Devon that said, "Yo, get your phones ready" or something about the 17th pick. I think it was like the 10th pick and the 17th pick. So we got the phones ready at 10th pick, nothing happened. So we get the phones ready at 17th pick, and once like we heard DJ, like the room literally erupted. It was so crazy. And I didn't get to see what your guys' reaction was because we were in the room. What was your initial reaction from getting drafted to the NBA?
I didn't know how to act, and it still didn't really hit me.
Yeah.
All at that time, it took really until I was in a locker room and I was on a practice court, and I seen kind of the NBA lifestyle and the treatment firsthand for me to really realize okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was just a shock. It was just like a dream come true in a way that you kind of just, I don't know, that hasn't hit you yet.
Yeah. It was kind of you're so in the moment, you don't even realize how big the moment was.
Facts.
I asked you that because how dope is it to see the work you've put in lead up to the biggest moment of your life at that point where you're literally getting drafted to the National Basketball Association. One thing that you and UC talk about at school all the time about going to the NBA, and then that finally came to fruition. And I remember right after you got drafted, we went to go to the steak place in the hotel. We ate, and it was just nothing happened. It was just a regular day. And then I went back home, and I remember I was talking to my family about it. I was like, dude, he literally just got drafted to the NBA. I don't think some people realize how big that moment is because not everybody gets to realize it. So when you got to Milwaukee, you finally oh snap, you're seeing the guys, you're seeing Giannis, you're seeing Chris Middleton, and you're realizing you're there. Did it then kick in, or at that point you kind of be like, well, I'm already here, let's go ahead and just get it over with, and just start just going to work.
Not for sure. Like you already knew, like the work started from day one. That was a guarantee. Especially when you're surrounded by workers like Giannis and Chris and guys like that, that lead by example. Like you definitely gonna put the work in. And I remember my first like welcome to the NBA moment was.
Oh Lord, what was that?
First training camp practice. We split up by positions, play 1-on-1, and so I was with the forwards. It was me, Giannis, Jabari Parker, and Chris.
Damn.
And so I'm like, all right, bet, like let's do it. Let's roll it out. I gotta start first on D. You know, Rick, you on D first. So I'm at the nail, and it's like a pass. You got to close out to do it on the wing. You play one. It's 3 dribble limit. So Giannis was the first one.
Oh Lord.
And he ran through the pass. As I'm closing out, he running through the pass. Like, I'm like, bro, what? Like, you can do this? So I'm like, yo, what? He runs through the pass. He throws off the backboard. Bow. I'm like, all right, bet. And so it's training camp. So to get a point, you got to get a stop.
Okay.
So you can't get off till you get a stop.
Yeah.
So I got to keep going. Giannis in the back of the line, Jabari up next.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. So I'm prepared for a dude to run through the catch because I didn't know we doing that. So I'm thinking he about to run through the catch. I go to close out. He take off the other way. He take off one dribble, windmill, bow. I'm like, bro, what? Like these dudes is fast, athletic, just as big as me. Like Chris, next person, whole different game, but I'm not really knowing at the time. Whole just slow, methodic, at his own pace. I go to close out, like I don't know which way he's about to go, so I'm stumbling over my toes, trying to like, is he about to take off like Giannis and Jabari? No, whole different, speed, pace, everything. He in his bag, got me on my toes, step back off glass. What? I'm like, bro. Long story short, bro, I went through them dudes probably like 3 times before I got to stop, and that was my welcome to the NBA moment, like my first NBA training camp practice.
So your welcome to the NBA moment wasn't even in the game; it was in practice.
Yeah, like in like. Was that 12 straight buckets on my head, like on ones?
Bro, were you frustrated?
I was tired. I was exhausted.
That's tough. That's like, boom,
Bro,
Giannis, boom,
drill.
Jabari, boom, K-Man. And mind you, people don't know Jabari is like hella athletic.
Bro. You don't even want to get me started on Jabari.
He's like one of the most I remember you telling me he's like one of the most freakish athletes you ever
Jabari
met.
Probably one of the most talented basketball players, like top 3 I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And this is after him coming back from 2 injuries I've witnessed. My rookie year was him coming back from his 2nd injury, knee injury. And so I had to play him ones like his whole rehab that season. And so now I got to see Jabari a lot. Like, Jabari like that.
Firsthand.
Yeah.
And so your rookie year, you're playing against best of the best every night, right? Was there one player that you grew up watching and then played against that you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, he's like that, outside of the people you're playing against in practice, like on another team? I know you played against so many players, or even got to watch so many players.
Yeah, it was OKC. That year they had Melo, PG, and Russ. And I remember I checked in the game, and we were at home in Milwaukee. And like right when I checked in, I had to guard Melo. Like, no, all right, yeah. I'm gonna start with this one. He caught it at the logo, face up, like straight ISO.
Yeah.
Got to his Melo stuff. Head in the chest. Like one dribble, boom, to the rim, like just quick. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Melo's still fast as hell. Like, what the hell?
Thanks.
Next possession, PG set a screen on Melo. We end up switching. PG called for the ball. ISO. I'm like, all right. So I see they just taking turns on the rook. Like, PG getting his back, got me on my heels. I go to contest it. I actually blocked the ball. You know, it was tip. I still go through. I'm like, bro, what in the hell? Like,
crazy.
Next possession, I'm still guarding Melo. In transition, I match up to Melo. He set an on ball with Russ, and with me, we switching. So now Russ got to switch. I'm like, bro, all right, bro. 3 straight possessions right when I check in, bro.
Yeah.
Russ gets it backing up to half court. I'm like, all right. I see he wanted to just run at me full speed. Run at me full speed. Bulldog. I go to try to contest. I hit his leg and one layup. I'm like, all right. Horn go off. I'm sitting right next to Jay Kidd.
That's crazy because like you're playing against Hall of Famers as a rook, right? Off rip. And it's not even like a bad thing. It happens to the best of them. I feel like everybody has gotten like, okay, like my welcome to the NBA moment.
I take that back though. My first welcome to the NBA moment was my first preseason game, my rookie year. Started
Against Dallas.
Against Dallas and Dirk. It was his last year. And so I was matched up against Dirk at the 4. And so I remember the first play, he caught it on the block, and I'm like, bro, I know this one leg fade is coming.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of when and what dribble and what bump.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's going to be the second one. So he takes one dribble. I'm like, all right, you didn't do this one. It's going to be the next one. This is the first play of the game. Second bump comes. I see his knee raised. I'm like, bro, I can't even get to that shit if I wanted to. Like, bro, this dude like 3 inches taller than me, and I'm tall. Behind his head, I'm like, oh yeah, that's bro. Like Dirk really shooting this on me. Like this is Dirk
crazy.
Fade. Like what? I'm mesmerized. I'm just watching the ball, just go in and out. I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. But yeah, that was my first welcome to the NBA moment, and it wasn't even a bucket on my head. He missed, but still, it was just like
It's like you're playing against Dirk.
A Dirk fade. Like, yeah, I was like, all right, bet. Like this is a real deal.
That's amazing because you're playing against someone who, you play with in NBA 2K, NBA Live, who you watch play against LeBron, Kobe Bryant, right? That same season, wasn't that Kobe's last year too?
Nah, the year prior was his last year.
Before 2016. That's right.
But what's dope was like the first 20 picks of my draft got his shoe. I think it was 11. He signed like 20 of them. He gave them all to like the first 20 picks. So I got a pair of like Mambas signed by Kobe.
Oh, that's hard.
Like Ice Whites. Like I got them tucked away.
Yeah,
nobody know where they at.
Yeah,
like,
definitely keep those. You can't put those on your feet. Can't even try them on.
Rest in peace to the Mamba.
I mean, R.I.P. man. So I want to ask you 2 questions. Well, what was your best and worst NBA moment thus far?
Winning the championship. Winning the championship. Nah, let's see. But for real, my best NBA moment?
I have an idea.
What yours? What you think?
I think your best NBA moment was 25-8 and was it 8 and something against the Nuggets?
Yeah, no, that was fun.
That was like your best statistical moment.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like.
But like,
there's
so much that goes on. Like, it don't even got to be a game. Just it could be in practice. It could be like just amongst the guys, the locker room, make you realize like, bro, this is like really the NBA, or like just the best moment for me in general. Like, could have been something that happened in practice.
Best on court moment. Best and worst.
I gotta think.
Got a few. I think I witnessed one too when I went to go watch you play against OKC. That was a really good showing. It's like the last home season.
Like 2020.
Last game of the home season, 2019. I'm saying like you've actually had like a lot of high points. It's just a matter of which you think is your best.
Are we talking about like best games? What you think my best game is? Just like
best moment. Best moment. Or you can use that as your best game. Like what was your best game or best moment?
That's hard, bro. I gotta think. Let's come back to it.
Well, then what about the worst moment?
Worst moment? I already know what you got in mind.
I'm just asking, man. We talked off camera.
We got
so
some lowlights. They not my worst moments though. They just growing pains. They
hey,
happen to the best of us.
Literally happens to the best of us.
Nah, definitely. If you play, yeah, it's gonna happen. But it didn't have to happen. Nah, for sure.
It did not have to happen.
What you talking about?
Well, I mean, which one? I mean, so okay. So should I just bring up the?
Go ahead.
I think one of them was like one of the toughest growing pains I've seen with my own eyes. only because of this reason. It was the CP3 moment.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I say that, both moments were kind of bad. But that one, because after it happened, I didn't even see it happen live.
Mm-hmm.
I literally get at least 100 DMs, messages, tweets. Yo, Cel, man, get your boy. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Yo, Cel, get your boy. Yo, Cel, bro, hey, man, look at this last clip. Like, what is he doing?
Nah,
I'm like, what are you? I can only imagine yours. Right? I'm like, it didn't even happen. I said, it didn't even happen to me.
Yeah,
So, you know me, I'm on the tip like, nah, man, y'all ain't gonna disrespect my boy. So I'm going to everybody. I'm responding to everybody. But for you, like, walk me through that exact play.
Bro, like, I don't think people realize, like, the game is so fast to where, like, in the moment, you like, oh, damn, like, he just fucked me up. Like,
Yeah.
And he took a couple dribbles after, and I'm still like, damn, like he really left me. Like, and he hit the shot, and I had to take the ball out.
Yep.
But like the game happened so fast to where you can't even worry about it. Like next possession, I hit a corner three. Like it moves on like that. But like come timeout time, the next media timeout, everybody in the timeout looking at me like, hey, you lucky we not at their crib because they be playing that right there.
It was a home game.
Winning the game.
Yeah.
I remember I posted a picture after just being funny, like a ton of walking me, like an action picture in the game.
Yep.
I said something like, we still got the win, though. And comments going crazy.
Facts.
You just got to have fun with it, bro. Like, you just got to have fun with it.
It's part of the game because
bro, it's one of the best. Like,
come on now. It's actually not that bad.
It's bad, but it's good.
It was.
It's good.
No, I think what the worst part wasn't even the fact that you kept going. It was the fact that he stopped and like looked and no one helped.
Yeah.
I remember the shot went.
I remember because like I always gave Giannis a hard time about it because I'm like, bro, you're guarding Capella in the corner, bro. Like, you think CP gonna kick to him for a corner tray? Like, you could have tried to close out right here and hope this missed the shot. Like,
Facts.
But
that was.
He was like, bro, I was watching him just like you. I bet. Touche.
So then that moment happened, and then there's one other that was like a moment I was like, okay. The moment actually didn't count, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. It didn't count. Nah, it was bad.
We haven't got to say it.
But like, yeah, it happens. What's crazy. Not like that.
No, for sure. I remember I was watching the.
Some get clipped and some don't. That's what's crazy. Like there's a lot of highlights.
That's facts.
Like throughout games, and some get clipped and some don't.
That's facts.
Like some get missed, but that one got clipped for sure.
And no, that one.
Be right too.
That one got clipped. Didn't even count.
Yeah, it didn't count.
We don't got.
What's crazy is that was the last game, before COVID. The COVID shutdown. Like after that game, we found out we weren't going to play any more NBA games that year.
Were you on? You were on the Rockets at this time?
No,
you on the Bucks? You on the Bucks? Listen, we don't got to talk about the moment. I just remember I saw that one live. I was just like, ooh.
You can say it because now you making it sound worse than what it was. Like,
no, it was.
I ain't die.
Okay, against the Denver Nuggets, when Jamal Murray pushed.
Let me tell it.
Huh?
Let me tell it. So the play.
Yeah, go ahead. Please tell it.
It was a fast break. It was like Jamal Murray, and I forgot who was running with him. But I was playing cat mouse, not thinking.
You were like, yeah.
He ended up throwing a lob, so I'm like, oh damn, let me not jump because I can't jump backwards. You're gonna get dunked on. So the next possession happens. It's pretty much the same thing. Like he come down to pick and roll though, like, and it's really just me, him, and the big rolling. And I'm thinking he might be the same thing. Like he's gonna throw the lob, so I'm playing back more.
Yeah.
Now I'm more in the restricted, giving him more of a momentum and another dribble and more of a damn launcher pad to take off from. So like me hesitating for that second, thinking that he might throw the lob like he did the play before, put me back to the point where you can play the video and he's in the air and I'm like this. And
Now, the reason why I say that one's not that bad because it didn't count. And once again, this moment was so someone hit my phone, right after it happens. I kid you not. They send the text, or it might have been text or DM, and it goes, your new screensaver. It's a picture of you and him. I was like, I think I'm gonna block that person. I was like, first of all, don't disrespect my boy like that ever again.
It happens.
But like, how'd you get the screenshot so quick? It was like, I'm like, you literally went back and took a picture of that.
Facts.
But it's part of the game, man. Like I said, I've seen you dunk on plenty of guys, and do your due diligence or hand your due diligence. So it's just part of the game. But yeah, those two right there were kind of
Facts.
growing pains though, man.
Yeah.
Grow from those
though, for sure.
So then going from Milwaukee to Houston, I remember that exact game you played Milwaukee, double, and the dub. I think that's for me. I think that was your best moment for many reasons.
Yeah, that was fun. I wouldn't say it was my best one, but it was definitely like a memorable one because I had just got traded and whatnot.
Yeah.
We weren't too good in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were like in the midst of a losing streak. They the Bucks, they ended up winning it that year. So, to be able to beat them and whatnot, it was definitely, and play well, it was definitely, a good feeling.
I think it was your best moment because it wasn't the aspect of you got traded and you played against them. It was the aspect of you got traded, but you responded so well. Mm-hmm. Like, you weren't like upset about it. It's part of the game. And then you came back and just performed very well. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like a moment of like, I don't know. It wasn't like a moment of like sour or bitter. It was just you went there and you performed, you put on the show, you did what you're capable of doing, and then double, the win. And it was just like it's a super dope moment to see that.
It was fun.
I think that stretch, you had a good stretch. That was a good stretch for you, I think, until
I caught COVID. Yeah, and I caught COVID for like 3 weeks. That was the end of the year.
And what'd you have? What kind of COVID was that?
I don't know. I was in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Whoa.
Hey. Talking about COVID.
I'm saying a 3-week COVID case, you might have had I
was out for a minute, bro.
Yeah.
And I ain't think nothing of it. Like the first 3-4 days, I had no symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
And then, bro, like the next 5 to 6, I couldn't sleep.
Damn.
I couldn't walk up my stairs.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like I was on a 3-mile hike every time I took a step.
Like your lungs was just shot.
Lungs, body, legs, back, hips, everything was just sore. I was like,
so that was your last year of the contract, right? That year. So then after COVID and everything, you entered free agency, unrestricted or as a restricted?
Unrestricted.
Unrestricted. What was that process like?
No, you just wait day by day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What ended up happening?
What ended up happening? I ended up having a few deals here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Went with what I thought was going to be like, the best one for me.
Yeah.
The best situation. It turned out to be what it was. Ended up playing. I started in the G League. I think I played 15 or 18 games in G League before I got called up.
Mm-hmm.
Then had like 3 straight 10 days with the Rockets. Things were going great.
Right, that was the Raptors.
The Raptors, yeah. Excuse me. Things were going great, and then ended up getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That ended my season, this past season, kind of early, like a month and a half outside of playoffs. And then since then, I kind of just been rehabbing.
Yeah. But you were able to land a 2-year contract.
Yeah,
right?
For sure, yeah. Not facts.
So
I'm back now, healthy.
Yeah.
Hooping. I'm good.
How does it feel, man, to, when people try to write you out the league, you still find your way back in? Like, no matter what,
No, yeah, you can't even look at it like that. Like,
yeah.
You just gotta know what you're more than capable of doing, and continue to put the work in and allow that to showcase for what it is.
Yeah.
And that's what I do.
Facts.
And yeah, there's still a lot more work to be done, but it's gonna get done.
Yeah, I'm already knowing, man. Like I said, if one thing is for certain with D, man, you always gonna get the work done. Do whatever you have to do to get it done, and I definitely admire that. Going forward, I want to kind of transition a little bit outside of the basketball for a little bit, kind of more on the lighthearted side of things. I've 2 trivia questions for you to test your mental capacity or capabilities, however you freaking say it. There's a bag of 8 oranges. You take 2 of the oranges. How many oranges are left?
6.
How many oranges do you have?
2.
I mean, okay, he's pretty smart. Okay, now figure this one out. What is the answer to this question?
Oh, these is off the top.
Oh no. This is practiced. Rehearsed.
Rehearsed?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. What's the answer to this question?
What is the answer to this question?
Is this a riddle?
Yeah, they're all riddles.
Did I get the first one right?
Get the first one right.
So this is set up like it's supposed to get harder.
Yeah.
I feel like this might be the hardest. What is the answer?
What is the answer to this question?
What is?
What is the answer to this question? What's your final answer?
I don't know. Answer?
The answer is what?
What?
It's a statement.
Okay.
What is the answer to this question?
That's why I said what is, because I thought what is was going to be the answer, but it's just what.
Yeah, that was a good. I see what you were. You know what I'm saying, picking up. I was putting down. Okay. Actually, I have a few more.
Kind of weak.
That was weak. Okay. All right, bet. Huh? Excuse me? You want to come try? You want to come try these questions? I ask you too. Okay. Or go drink some water. It's so good for you. That was for the Wiggles. Okay. What word gets longer when you add 2 letters to it? Pause.
Long.
Facts.
It becomes longer.
Okay. All right, last one.
I mean, is that the answer?
It's long, yeah.
Okay.
It's longer, yeah.
Or could I have said anything?
No, yeah, it was literally long.
Okay.
The word becomes longer.
All right.
Pause.
Okay.
There's a deli worker,
Mm-hmm.
6 feet 3 inches tall, wears a size 10 shoe. What does the deli worker weigh?
Tegan, how much you weigh? No, play. Wait, he's 6'3".
Size 10 shoe. What does the deli worker weigh?
6'3". I'm missing something.
Got him thinking. I'm thinking. Use that mental muscle. What does a deli worker weigh? 6'10", 6'2", size 10 shoe.
I don't know. I'm gonna be here all day trying to think about it. Tell me, what's the answer?
The deli worker weighs meat.
No comment, bro.
That wasn't a good one?
No comment.
That wasn't a good one. That wasn't a good one? Okay, last one.
Yeah, you gotta come back after that.
What weighs heavier?
I don't. I don't want to know.
10 pounds of stone or 10 pounds of brick?
Man, they both 10 pounds.
All right. Congrats, man. I think he went, what, 3 for 5? 3 for 5 on that one?
I think you went 3 for 5.
I know me and my boy Trio are supposed to get better at these questions. We've been trying to research. It's hard to find riddles that are like good and not weak.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. How about this? Yeah, y'all be cracking jokes.
They sure are.
Yeah? Okay, how about this? What becomes wet as you dry it?
What becomes wet as you dry it? A towel?
A towel.
For real?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
This nigga DJ on his P's and Q's, man. Yeah, that was just a lighthearted part. That's from the attention mental part, man, of your brain. But moving back, I actually have a question for you. On a more serious note, who was one person in your life outside of your mother who played a very big role in your child development, personal development?
Anthony, my godfather I mentioned earlier, and my grandma. Those two for sure. My grandma definitely helped raise me because my mom was working so much. So when she wasn't around, I was with my grandma. If I wasn't by myself, and you know, my grandma ended up moving in with us when I was in middle school just to help out with the house.
Yeah.
And with me, because I was growing, I was getting older and whatnot. Definitely Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's probably, you know, the strong male figure in my life.
Facts.
He helped teach me everything I know about basketball. So those three people are the most, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I asked that too because I feel like everybody does have multiple people, if not one person, outside of their immediate family, like mother, father, that does help play a role in their mental development, physical development, or even personal development. So, yeah, man, that's dope you said that because Ant is a great guy. I met Ant a lot of times. Good guy, man. He always means well.
At the time, y'all wasn't really, y'all used to butt heads though. You know, bro, Cel was like, Cel's not who he is now. Like,
Not at all.
Cel has came a long way. He talking about me coming a long way. Cel came so far.
I didn't came.
Talk about a hothead.
Man, you know what's so crazy about this? This story right here. I was a hothead at school, right? So going into sophomore year. Wait, was it junior year? Junior year of high school. Yes, junior year of high school. The first few weeks of school, you and UC ignored me. Listen, y'all. Let me tell you this. No, I'm gonna tell them this quick.
Like,
hold
the
on.
type of time Cel was on.
Wait, hold on.
Mind you, we was in the wrong. We was being immature and whatnot,
Bro.
But bro, like, you don't understand this dude back then, bro.
So listen, he's part right. It was the first day of school, and you know I get to see my boys. Yo, UC DJ, what's good? And all I get back is I said, whoa, and then they keep walking. I was like, okay, that's weird. Like maybe they had a bad day. All right, cool. Next day, same thing. I'm like, all right, maybe you know I get a benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they're going through something. Next week, I'm like, hey, yo, D-Use, like, you know, ignore me, whatever. And I remember I was in class, a history class with UC, and we're sitting right next to each other. And it got to a point where UC was leaning back in his chair and then like falling asleep. And I was like, yo, yo, about to fall. He's like, oh, bro, appreciate you. And those are the only words he would say to me. Like, I would be like, yo, so what do you think about this question? He's like, oh, I'm like, why are they acting like this? So it got to a point, we were in the lunchroom in the cafeteria. I'm sitting there with I don't gotta say the names, but I'm sitting there with somebody and then another somebody, and I see UC and DJ walk by, and then I think I say something. I'm like, bro, they really not messing with me this year. Like, I don't know what I did. Like I'm trying to figure out like what did I do wrong in this situation. Like I thought I was a good friend. So then it came to a point where UC have like, yo, Cel, let me holler at you. And then DJ was like, bro, don't cave in. And then UC was like, nah, bro, I got to talk to my boy. And then you guys told me what you guys were ignoring me about, but I kind of want to hear what you guys were ignoring me about and for why.
Were you saying why?
Yeah. and for why.
Well, you want to know the reason?
Yeah. Cause I know the reason, but I want to hear you say the reason again. Just so that everybody can hear the reason.
I'm not. Hold on. I'm kind of. Damn, that was so long ago.
I remember the reason. Maybe you can validate it. Let me see. I'll say it. So this is what was told to me verbatim per the source.
I don't think
this
may have not been verbatim, but go ahead.
This is verbatim. Yeah, bro. Like, you know, we got to school and then like somebody, I'm not gonna say no names, like told us like that you better than us and like, you know, like we not like really good at basketball, like we weak and like you just above us and yada yada yada, like talking all this trash. And I said,
No, that wasn't it. Nah, it was more than that though.
Okay, then what else?
But
No, wait, no, I gotta hear it.
Nah, I felt like I forgot, but it just had to do with more than just basketball.
It was off the court stuff.
Yeah,
it was like personal stuff.
Yeah.
What do you remember what that personal stuff was? Because I think this is what I told you. See,
it may or may have not to do with like females.
Ooh, okay, respect.
But
yeah,
like,
yeah, maybe.
It was just a lot of word of mouth stuff. But like I said, we was young.
Wait, with females, hold on. Are we talking about Old girl.
Bro, I don't know.
I don't even.
I have no idea.
Wait, I don't even remember.
Me neither.
I just remember that's.
I have no idea.
He definitely remembers, but I appreciate him not, you know what I'm saying, trying to tell the whole story. But I do remember the one point where I told UC, I said, bro, like, if I ever had something to say.
But where we was 15.
15.
Yeah.
If I ever have something to say, you think me of all people going to say it behind your back? Me of all people. You think I'm going to say something behind your back? I said, come on, bro. I said, listen, I'm too crazy to not confront you about something.
But, yeah.
But.
I mean,
we dropped
swept
it
under the rug, yeah. We squashed it.
Squashed it.
In there.
But like y'all was really
history.
really trying to about to let our friendship become like.
Because mind you, at the time we might have been like Cel had tainted every other friendship at the school.
I had literally, I think I had 2 friends and I hung out with them every day.
It was me and UC. So when it wasn't us, it was like, oh, hold on.
I would walk the halls and I'm like scratching my head like, dang, who am I hanging out with today?
Cel changed. Cel was just a hothead. He was ready for any and everything.
Come on, man. I was ready for. I was down for the cause. You know what I'm saying?
Standing on top of desks, counting down the teachers like, no, you got 5 seconds. Let me go to the bathroom. 5, 4. You can go, Marcellus.
I think this is where we end the conversation. Nah, that's
man.
So
telling teachers step outside his door.
Oh, freshman year English.
We can really see what's going on.
Wow.
I'm
okay.
like, Cel, bro, she's 70. Like, she's literally 70. Like,
so that story.
She wants no problems at all.
Wait, I want to talk about that story real quick. It was freshman year English, and I remember I was talking to this girl named Pearl. No, not Pearl.
No, you're right.
No, Pearl was the nicer one. It wasn't Pearl. It was the other one. It was damn, I forgot her name. But no, Pearl was the one nice people I ever met. It was this one girl in class, and she had spoken a different language. So she said something in her language, and Peter was like, so you gonna take that? She said this, that. And I said, what? So I start going at her. We going back and forth. She's cussing at me in different language. I'm cussing at her in English out loud.
This is like for the last 10 minutes of class.
Yeah, like straight. There's no button in between. The teacher's trying to stop me. I'm like, nah, bump that. She got me effed up. She disrespecting me, yada, yada, yada. So then she's like, you know what, Marcel, let's just step outside and go to the office. And then I was like, you can step outside with me. And I was like, and see what's up. And then she said, just go to the office. I don't think she understood what I was saying at the time because she was a little older. I was like, you can step outside too. But at this point,
nah, you was really running fade with a 70-year-old woman. Like,
bro, I try to forget about that because right after, me and that same girl had history class together. So we continue the conversation in history class. And then Peter was in the history class. So Peter's like interpreting, oh, she called you this, bro. She's saying this. So he's instigating the scene. And then me and her are going back and forth. And then this is Bell. Shout out Bell, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all love now. But at the time, man, look, I was under the influence of, it didn't matter what sex you were. It didn't matter the race. It didn't matter anything. If I felt
you was under the influence of what?
I mean under the notion. Is that a better word?
Impression.
No, under the
impression.
There we go. Under the influence is crazy. I don't do drugs, y'all. Under the impression, like it didn't matter the sex, the race. If you was my boy at the time or nothing, like if I felt disrespected, I'm ready to take it there with whoever, whenever. You feel me? And there was no like switch of like, oh, maybe not right now. Like, nah, it's right now. It's either now or never type of thing. So
and he felt disrespected by any and everything. Like, bro, you can say hi to Cel, but you just didn't like the way you said hi. It's a problem.
Hey, listen, man. This is the whole. Like, you know, I've done my work. I've grown. I have become a way better person, and I have left that side behind. I am no longer a Tasmanian devil. But kind of a crazy analogy. Wow, it's wild. On the other side of things, though, I did want to ask you. Fashion has become a big part of kind of like you today.
You think so?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you why. From Capital Christian to now, should we compare the fashion?
Nah.
I mean,
Like
first person I seen cut off the cargo pants, like a butt, like not like capris, but like a butt of calf. Like they low key shorts, but like they not shorts. They like long enough to be pants, but can't be pants or capris because it's like past the knee, but like right at the middle of the calf.
Let's talk about yours.
Let's talk about it. What's the parachute pants?
Yeah.
Should we?
About them. Or them big ass cut off sweats you like to cut off. Like Cel wouldn't just cut them off below the knee or right below the knee. You used to cut them off how you was talking about, but they'd be sweats. Like, bro, what we doing?
There's a picture of us in the atrium where it's me, you, UC. Was Tegan in there? Justice. So everybody got their cut off shorts. Like everybody's looks proportionate. And then like I go back and look at mine. My cut off sweats were literally above my ankle, and I thought that was swag. So I'm sitting there with a tight ass shirt on and baggy ass sweats cut off with fake glasses on, by the way, and I had a part in the head, and I was sitting there like smiling like.
And Cel always had to take it like to the furthest like limit, to the most extreme like that he could take it to. He was like, man, everybody cutting the sweats now. I'm gonna be the first one to cut my hoodie. So he came to school with cut sweats and a cut off hoodie.
The cut off zip up.
The next day was zip up.
The cut off zip.
Not just a cut off regular hoodie you can throw on, maybe work out, get away with it. No, a zip up. Don't nobody cut the sleeves off a zip up hoodie. You just made a vest.
My fashion choices weren't the best back then, but I actually.
But you want to come for me?
No, you're right. I do because quick story, last story on this part about me that I want to get to you. 7th grade, Yellow Jackets. We're in my boy, I think Frederick's auntie's house in LA. It's me, him. I think DJ's in there. Malik. We're like messing around. And all of a sudden, Malik goes, "Damn, Cel, that tight ass shirt on, them parachute pants." So like I literally turn around, look in the mirror, and then like I have a coming to Jesus moment. I'm like, damn, like shirt was hella small. You can see my boxers, like the tip of the boxers, and then like hella baggy pants. And I'm like, damn, I thought this was swag. Niggas was insane, telling me nothing. So he told me. And then I remember I got back to Sacramento from LA. I said, Mom, I gotta get some skinny jeans. So we went to PacSun about the skinniest jeans I could ever fit into, and I started rocking skinny jeans. That's how I got into it. But for you, what got you into more of the high fashion type of thing? Like what? Whenever I see you, you put a good fit together.
Appreciate you.
Put a good fit together, man.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Honestly, I don't even pack outfits. I just put clothes in the suitcase.
He just throw it in the bag.
I kind of just like, bro, I pick as I go, and I try to put together what I like.
Yeah.
And what I feel like goes well. I just.
Are your outfits an expression of how you feel that day?
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So like how you.
And more times than not, I'm wearing sweats or like shorts and a shirt. I'm never wearing jeans. I'm not really wearing button-ups stuff a lot ever. Like I just chill, comfy, going with the flow.
Well, that's facts, man. Like I said, you look real comfy today.
Appreciate you, likewise.
Thanks, bro.
I'm in my own house. So.
You know what I'm saying? Diamonds dancing. I have a question. So like you said, it shows an expression, right? Mm-hmm. So I do want to bring a special guest on to show their fashion.
For sure.
Expression.
Now, if there's anybody that like I get my fashion from, or any advice or tips that I just want to pick up from, it's this dude that you about to bring.
Bro, hey, listen, you guys, we have a special edition.
Like I'm talking about from day one, bro.
OD.
Like you remember like this day we met, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro.
He was him.
What he got on?
Yep, the waves, like the nice polos.
Like, I still ain't seen what bro had on the first day we met him since. Like I ain't never seen that fit.
You feel me?
None of them clothes. Like what bro got on right now, ain't seen it before.
Ain't seen that, probably won't see it again. So you guys, I want to.
We see him.
I want to
give. You ever see him?
I haven't seen. I haven't seen.
Bro, he a ghost for real.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring on a special guest to the Backyard Podcast. First time ever. He goes by the name of Tegan Bones. Our boy Tegan Jones, man. Come on, come show us your fashion statements, man.
Yes, sir.
What we feeling like today? Now step right in the middle. You have to crouch down a little because the camera's kind of focused a little low. Crouch. Crouch down so I can see the hoodie. Yeah, crouch down so I can see the hoodie.
That's cranberry? That's
cranberry? They're definitely looking at your balls. So, yep, they're looking directly at. That's hard. Show the kicks. Show the kicks. Wait.
Hold on, bro.
Hold on.
You gotta show how you matching though, bro.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Like, what made you go with the cranberry and the blueberry together?
The tones.
And you said the shoes is about.
Ooh,
okay,
the
show the camera your shoes though.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Here. Wait. Say it. You got the what?
With the ankles out.
My boy look like a whole.
I did this with the mixed berry.
You look like a nigga like acai bowl.
Hey, man, hey, I appreciate your fashion sense, man. You know, you make the world a better place.
Dog, bro.
Nike with Adidas? Oh, he's definitely fumbling the bag.
He's definitely fumbling the bag. You gotta take that to the grave, boy.
Yeah. You know what? I might not post that clip. I don't think that's a good idea.
Not the Nike with
Not the
Adidas.
Nike with Adidas, with the ankle socks. That's our boy Tegan, man. That's bro for life, man. We just cracking jokes here. Now, two things I want to talk about before we get up off here, man. You want the serious question first or the funny question first?
Serious question.
Okay. Within this process of you pursuing your pro career, pursuing just life in general, what has been the one thing that's always remained?
God, faith.
Mm.
I feel like, just having that foundation.
Yeah.
Right there, just in itself is enough for me to do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
And knowing that is all I need. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
definitely, continuing my faith in that journey, believing in him. Yeah, it's a whole testament in itself.
Man, I feel like that's so important because a lot of people won't have the confidence to talk about their faith openly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's
But it gives you a confidence. So, if it's there,
Come on.
you definitely will.
Come on. So faith in, God has been a big part of your success thus far.
Mm-hmm.
And
Along with, family,
mm-hmm.
mom, grandma, Anthony, those three right there.
Yeah.
Always in my corner. That's my circle.
Actually, I have one more thing to elaborate on that. What is one thing someone has told you that is like a word of advice that someone's told you that really changed your perspective on a lot of things? Because I have something that I think someone's told me that has changed. But I want to hear because you're doing pretty good for yourself. So I kind of want to hear that.
I feel like one quote my grandma always told me growing up is, who you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God.
Whoa, wait. Repeat that. That's kind of crazy.
Who you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God.
That's amazing.
So, yeah.
Wow. So basically, can you elaborate? Because it's
him breathing life into you, you being here alone is a gift.
Yeah.
Him allowing you the gift of life, and then, what you're willing to do with that, in terms of just making him proud on a day in and day out basis, is your gift to him.
Wow, that's amazing. I've never actually heard it broken down that way, man.
Yeah.
That's dope, bro. Shout out.
I'm poetic.
You said what?
I'm poetic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can we hear something? Yep.
I'm a lover, not a fighter, but I fight for what I love.
I'm a lover, not a fighter, but I fight for what I love. Oh my gosh, he's in his bag right now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, left hand for the fake man, left hand for the fake man.
Right.
Yes, sir. Now on to the lighthearted question. Was there a time? I'm not gonna ask you that. I'm not gonna ask you that. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna ask you this.
Yeah.
Ask you this. This is true evidence, true statement I'm about to make here. Is it true?
How you going to say it's true and then ask me if it's true?
No, because I think I believe it's in my whole heart. This is true.
Okay.
When we played 2v2 that day at Capital Christian, me, you, UC, and Marvin, that I was frying you.
No.
That's false?
That's false.
I must have seen something totally different that day.
I have UC's number. I'm sure you do too.
Should we call him?
Or you can call UC right now.
He might not answer, huh?
No, he'll definitely answer because I feel it. That's the energy.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm on that energy right now. Hold
feel
on.
the
Wait, yeah, I gotta hear this. So we're calling our boy UC Erebu, who was just on the podcast a couple days ago. And I gotta hear something real quick. If he answers the phone. It doesn't answer. My face card has no value. UC. Quick question, man. We're actually live on the podcast right now, filming. I'm with DJ. Yeah, we're live right now.
Okay.
So I had a question. I need you to clarify this. Was it true when we played 2v2 that day, me, you, UC, Marvin, and DJ, that I wasn't frying DJ?
I know I was getting buckets. I wasn't really paying attention to everybody else, to be honest.
First of all, like, why would that even be a matchup if Marvin is my matchup?
Well, because I was getting a switch,
We not what?
pick and roll switch.
So y'all saying we not setting pick and roll 2-1-2.
We definitely said pick and roll 2-1-2. But he said he has UC's number to call to clarify that I wasn't frying that day.
I remember the day we was like playing once. I remember that day. If that's the same day.
Ooh, hey, bro, I'm gonna hit you back, bro.
Nobody remember.
All right, boy.
And then Cel woke up and he had to go to 7th period.
I do remember the day we played 1v1s.
He wasn't taking it serious. Or if you were,
It was bad. That was a bad day.
taking it serious.
It was a bad day. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you the exact play. I'm on the left wing. UC's guard to be. Jab, snatch, hezzy, right? UC jumps. I go in for like off the glass shot and I hit the top of the corner of the backboard and it came right back to me. And then I say, you know what? I'm gonna sit this one out. it was that moment I say, you know what? I'm bullshitting right now. And I think you guys just went at it and played each other.
Yeah,
and I
kind of sit it out too.
I think I legit. I said it's not my day.
A while ago, this is like
2016,
16.
16. But yeah, man. Yeah, we talked about a whole bunch of stuff today, man. This has been one hell of a conversation, bro.
It's been fun for sure.
You know, I definitely appreciate you allowing me to pull up on you, and I appreciate you to be vulnerable to talk about certain moments in your NBA career in your life that has helped shape you. But you still didn't give me your best NBA moment before we get off. I need you to dig into that bag real quick and give me your best NBA moment right now.
Winning a championship, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, it's gonna say, "Nah, I'm playing."
Facts.
Best NBA moment.
Anything.
I think the first time just stepping out on that court and like realizing like I'm here
Mm-hmm.
for real.
That's go crazy.
Like I said, that was probably even the preseason game, like being against Dirk.
Yeah.
That whole situation, that was probably like my favorite NBA experience because it was like the first one. It was the most eye-opening.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. Wow. You playing against basketball idols.
And then to be able to play against them all throughout the summer and whatnot, like the
Oh,
guys that
yeah.
we talked about, like, yeah.
Wait, so you
So it's a lot of memories and whatnot that you make throughout your career that
Mm-hmm.
don't have to be during the game. It could be in the summer, pick-up run, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you had to play against Braun,
Mm-hmm.
played against CP, played against PG, played against Kawhi, played against everybody,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, before we get off here, I want you to tell people one story of you absolutely, like, after the game, you're like, yeah, I'm that nigga.
At any level?
At any level.
Let's see. Probably in high school,
What year?
like going into senior year.
Okay. I remember the senior year game against that black and white school, the playoff game where they were talking crazy trash.
Elliott Christian.
And you went OD.
Yeah, probably around that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, that's fair. Like I said, that was the best from a DJ I've seen until you
Those
got
are
to the
like the
NBA.
first moments that you kind of realize, like, okay,
Yeah.
kind of can separate myself.
Wow. That's actually pretty accurate. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say around that time. But yeah, man, like, yeah, this has been amazing, bro. Before we get out of
appreciate
here,
you.
I do want you to lock into your camera. Give some words of advice for aspiring professional hoopers and people who want to just be, I don't know, like on your level in terms of like they want to be where you are today. Like what are some words of advice you can go tell yourself back in the day, like to a kid that age?
I tell y'all the same thing my grandma told me. Who you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. As simple as that. Facts.
That's amazing, bro. Now we only gonna end it one way and one way only.
How we gonna do this?
Quick bars.
Quick bars.
Yeah.
You started off.
2 for 2.
I'm off you. Yeah.
It's the Backyard Podcast. We wrapping up the show. This is my first time traveling with my suitcase. I'm on go.
With My suitcase, I'm on go. You know I'm with my bros. We wrapping up this show, and we all up in my home.
We all up in your home. It's like E.T. I gotta phone it.
Mm-hmm.
I walked down the street and see Spencer Dinwiddie. I said, damn, they had to clone it.
Damn, they had to clone it. They had to phone it. This off the top. It's like I had to dome it.
Hey.
We gonna get right there, guys.
Hey, appreciate y'all for watching, man. If you watch it on YouTube, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. If you listen on audio platforms, man, hit that follow button. But we're going to end it on the way I end all my reaction videos and start my reaction videos. We're going to say you dig.
You dig?
You dig.
Right,
1, 2, 3.
You dig.
This has been, this is amazing. Wow.
my brother.
My dog. Appreciate you, man.
I love, bro.
Real one. 100%.
We out.